Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Board President Goldberg, members of the board, and Superintendent. First, I want to wish all the classified employees, both behind me and out there, a wonderful Classified School Employees Week, celebrating you and all you do for the schools of LAUSD. And that's why I'm here today, classified employees, in particular, classified supervisors. As you all know, Teamsters and LAUSD have yet to reach an agreement on our successor contract. The major hurdle is the idea of $2 an hour that we cannot recommend to our members. Our members supervise over 33,000 SEIU employees and thousands of employees in Unit D and E. They are the best of all these units combined. Their classifications are as diverse as all three unions. This also includes their training, certificates, education, and degrees. When you think about our unit, maybe you think about the plant manager who's the first to arrive at the site. Plant managers and assistant plant managers are now being tasked with shoveling human feces and disposing used syringes and prophylactics off sidewalks before staff and students arrive. They have reported that the perimeters of their schools have become rampant with overnight homeless encampments since there are no longer ample school police officers to patrol. They are told to call 311 and wait for help. Most of them are still waiting. Most have given up waiting and get to work early to make sure their schools are clean when students arrive. They show up because kids can't wait. Or maybe you picture the food service manager who gets to work early to ensure students have a nutritious breakfast ready when they arrive. They deal with constant last-minute menu substitutions, upset customers, and working under the fear and reality that their jobs depend on their declining meal counts. They feel helpless because they cannot control what meals are served. They are disciplined when unsupervised students make claims of being denied food or throw food trays on the floor. But they show up every day to feed students because they know most of the students rely on BIC, lunch, and supper programs. And they show up because kids need to eat. Perhaps it's the school administrative assistant you picture, the person who keeps the main office running and ensures that students are enrolled and staff is paid. But that's only part of their job. They're responsible for the budget, communication, and serve as the hearts of their school. They are the counselors, nurse, and scribe during most committee meetings. And they show up because schools need heart. Today, we are also joined by our supervising special ed assistants. They are responsible for supervising between 20 to 80 special education trainees, assistants, healthcare assistants, sign language interpreters, and more. When a paraeducator is absent, it is often these members who must cover for them. They are well-trained, extremely skilled, and not easily replaced. They have been punched, kicked, and stabbed by students with behavioral issues, but they still show up. They show up and provide medical attention to students while awaiting paramedics because there is no nurse on site. They show up despite the fact that their staff bring home more money than they do and laugh at them while they do it. They, like all our members, show up. We show up for LAUSD and its students. We lobby in Sacramento when asked. We help deliver meals and supplies during COVID. We staff and supply grab-and-go centers. We show up to open campuses and ensure they are clean. We show up to make sure students eat and parents are welcomed. We show up to make sure students get on and off their buses. We show up to make sure students with special needs have everything they need. And we don't just show up. We are responsible for ensuring other staff does too. Our members all recognize their jobs could be much easier if they were only responsible for themselves and their own actions, but they're responsible for so much more. All of these classifications are paid pennies more than their employees. There should never be a situation where a plant manager makes less per hour than their BGW. There should never be a situation where a senior electrical inspector makes 13 cents more than an electrical inspector. SAAs should never consider demoting to a special education assistant because it will pay more and be less stress. There should never be situations like this, and yet, if we agree to the current offer, that is exactly where we will end up. This is not acceptable for us, and it shouldn't be acceptable for you either. The district has offered us a committee to study these inequities, and this is a good idea, but does not offer the immediate relief our members need. It offers us the opportunity to provide recommendations 6 months after we ratify our contract, with no guarantee that these recommendations will be adopted. It does not do enough to get us to an agreement now. We have been told that our deal is exactly what was offered to SEIU. In the same breath, we are told that the superintendent opposes Me Too clauses. So which is it? Are we bound by what is offered to SEIU? Because if that's the case, there's a whole lot missing off that table. There's the cost of extending health benefits and assignment bases. There is the increase in pay to specific classifications. There is the cost of additional differentials being offered. All of these additions have a cost associated to them, and we're not asking for these. We are asking for an agreement that is best for our unit, an agreement that is reasonable and yet honors the work that our members do every day. I believe that the district and the union agree on what the wages would look like with their current proposal. They have charts, we have charts, everyone has charts. But in our charts, we show what happens on day one of a promotion, what those wages would look like for the person who takes the job they've been working so hard to get. And the district's charts compare wages at step 5 rates. Step 5. Well, what happens in steps 1 through 4? Are we supposed to tell members that they need to wait 4 years to make sure that they'll make more than their subordinates do? The men and women you see here today are all part of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. And at one point, they all came from one of our fellow unions. They became the best in their field, competed by exam, and promoted into members of Teamsters Local 572. And we're damn proud of that fact. The Brotherhood you see here behind me supervised units B, C, D, E, F, and G. And they deserve to be compensated as such. We were told that SEIU had to bargain for years to reach their historic agreement with LAUSD. Well, board members, we don't have years. Our contract expires at the end of June, and time is running out for us to reach an agreement, for us to make our own historic deal. We have shown up for you, and now we're asking you to show up for us. We are here asking you to help us make history together. We ask you to authorize a deal we can actually recommend to our members before our contract expires. The motto for Classified School Employee Week this year is indispensable, inspiring, invincible. And that's us. That is who we are. We are indispensable. We are inspiring. We are invincible. And members of the board, we are Teamsters. Thank you.